What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video. Going to recap the Jets and Rams action from today. The New York Jets back in the loss column after a 19-9 loss in a game where they had a pretty good first half. Second half was an absolute disaster. Let's go through it and talk through it. There were a lot of long sustained drives pretty much right out of the gate. No Quinnen Williams in this game, so the Rams leaned heavily on Kyren Williams, who was spectacular today. He was running right down the Jets' throat on their first drive of the game. Ends up being a 3rd and long opportunity for the Rams, and the Jets deflect a pass, and Isaiah Oliver drops what probably should have been a pick six. Instead, the Rams punt and down the ball on the 9-yard line. On the 1-yard line, excuse me, the number 9 sticking out because the Jets would have to go 99 yards for an opening drive touchdown, and they start by a couple Breece Hall runs for a first down. Conklin checked down for a first down. Then Garrett Wilson picks up 14 on 3rd and 7. Conklin again for 23 yards. Jets moving the ball well. 4th and 2, they line up to go for it, and they convert to Davante Adams. Play action, rollout, an absolutely insane throw from Aaron Rodgers to Davante Adams for the touchdown. Extra point was no good. Jets go up 6-0 on a 99-yard drive, opening possession for a touchdown. Next, Rams possession, they're picking up a couple first downs, taking what the defense is giving them, a lot of underneath stuff. Huge run by Williams was negated by an illegal motion. Stafford goes deep and way overthrows everyone and throws it right to Tony Adams, who secures an interception. So Jets get possession, just their 5th interception of the year through 15 games. Out come the New York Jets offense, and Allen Lazard drop on 2nd down, drive killer. The Jets go for it on 4th and 1, and they don't pick it up. Rams take over on downs. I don't hate the idea to go for it. I did not like the play call. They telegraphed where the ball was going and missed blocking assignment from the Jets tight end room, which has been all too familiar this year, unfortunately. Rams come in, hit Hall. Honestly, Hall was hit 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He got back to the line but could not pick up the 1 yard, so the Rams take over. Rams go right down the field, and Kyren Williams punches it in for 1 yard out. 6-6 is your score, as the Rams would then miss the extra point at that point. Okay, last drive before the half. Yes, it really went that quickly because it was a long, extended drive. Davante Adams picks up a first down, looking in sync with Aaron Rodgers. Then a holding penalty sets up a 3rd and long sack. Flags on both teams, though, so they replay the down. Sets up another 4th and short. They go back to Allen Lazard to convert the 4th down opportunity. Lazard gets another drop, so 2 drops in the first half. This one would have put the Jets inside the 10. Hall converts on the check down on 3rd and 11. Then another Hall check down to the 2. They have a couple plays. They try to hit Davante Adams for the touchdown. It dropped, unable to convert there. So they would have to settle for 3 at the end of the first half. And they went into the half up 9-6, but offense moved the ball well. You would have liked for them to be up 13-6, but instead it's just a 3-point game. And here's where everything begins to go wrong in the second half. So the Jets come out of the half and they get the ball to start. Incomplete, a holding call, then a 3rd and 14 converted to Garrett Wilson on the sideline for 19. 3rd and 1, a beautiful play, a check down to Tyler Conklin, who was good. Unfortunately, 2 ineligible man downfield penalties back-to-back kind of hurt the drive. It sets up a 4th and 4, and the Jets decide they're going to go for it today. They didn't punt today. The New York Jets did not punt, and instead of something more underneath, they go end zone fade for Davante Adams. I don't mind the decision to go for it. I guess they clearly didn't trust Carlson today. He would later miss a field goal, spoiler alert, but an end zone fade to Davante Adams on 4th and 4, just a very bizarre decision from the Jets offense. Rams would end up adding a field goal on the next drive. Tony Adams was called for a very questionable defensive pass interference on this drive. Sauce and Adams would leave and were questionable to return. Neither one of those guys did end up making a return. Rams hit from 38 yards to tie it up at 9. Rodgers, a touch too far for Davante Adams, sets up a 3rd and 7, and on 3rd down, strip sack. Rams take over. held onto the ball way, way, way too long on this one. And Rodgers was clearly banged up after this. He would go into the blue medical tent. He would return, but did not look like the same guy. So Rams pick it up. Kyron pitched for a big game, then a check down to Tyler Higbee. He gets into the end zone, puts the Rams up 16-9. They're up a touchdown at this point. Look at these results. People are making thousands every month betting on sports completely risk-free. The secret, they're using OddsJam. OddsJam isn't just another betting app on the market. It's turning the entire system in your favor. Here's how. OddsJam uses arbitrage betting. They find odds differences across sports books. You bet both sides, and no matter the outcome, you will profit. Here's a good example. If you bet 500 on Boise State in this example to win on FanDuel and 335 on the opponent San Francisco on DraftKings, you're guaranteed, no matter who wins, to make $50. It's that simple. With OddsJam's mobile app, you'll get real-time alerts on these opportunities every day. People are making thousands monthly, and to get you started, use code O'Leary for 35% off and a 7-day free trial. I'll guarantee that you profit during the trial, but if you don't, for whatever reason, cancel with one click, no questions asked. Don't leave money on the table. Go to oddsjam.com, use code O'Leary, and start making money the smart way. From bad to worse for the Jets, Tippmann penalty negates a first down. Olu gets hurt, ends up having to get carted off, was immediately ruled out with a foot injury. We'll keep an eye on that, but clearly does not look good. Jets would turn it over on downs for the second possession in a row. Offense just didn't do anything in the second half. Again, the accuracy from Rodgers went away. It just really wasn't a good second half at all. Stafford rollout, big play to Puka Nacua. Penalties for the Rams kind of stall the drive as they attempt a long field goal attempt, and they would hit. Their kicker was able to hit in the cold conditions, a 19-9 lead, Rams up by 10. Jets start to move the ball a little bit, and then they get into, I don't know, it might have been right outside the red zone, but in clear position for driving into the Rams side of the field. Horrible, horrible sequence here for the New York Jets. So it's 4th and 4. Rodgers looks to the sideline and is like, are we going to take a timeout? It's just over the 2-minute warning, so the clock is ticking down. They don't. They instead go up to the line of scrimmage and are about to snap the ball right before the 2-minute warning, and Max Mitchell false starts. So now it backs him up an additional 5 yards, and they kick the field goal. They send the field goal unit out after 4th and 4 turns into 4th and 9, and then they miss the field goal. Carlson gets sent out there for a 50-yard field goal. They miss it. And just what a horrific, horrific coaching job there. You take the timeout before the 2-minute warning, you get your play in and hopefully go in and score. Instead, you get 0 points out of it. Now, the Rams would end up not doing anything. They punt the ball back to the New York Jets, actually, with just under, they barely took any time off the clock. So the Jets were going to have a little over a minute left to work. And Xavier Gipson fumbles the ball. His leash is absolutely absurd. The guy had one play in week 1 of 2023 and is still getting trotted out there as the returner in week 15 or 16, whatever the hell week it is, in 2024. This is the kind of stuff. This is why you stink. This is why you are a 4-11 team. Because of poor coaching decisions, because of poor, just blind love for these players that don't make any sense. Xavier Gipson being one of those guys. Stubbornness all around, from the coaching staff to the quarterback to the roster building. And 19-9 would be your final score. So it wasn't a high scoring game. I was right that the Rams would win, and they won 19-9. But what just an awful showing, especially in the second half for this Jets team. Losing in which they did was ugly. It was the 6th time this year they had a lead in the 4th quarter and ended up losing the game. But the thing that I really want to take out of it is clearly the coaching staff is horrible. I cannot wait for them to go. Aaron Rodgers looked hurt again and off after getting sacked. And Olu Fashanu getting hurt, and I don't know what the injury is going to be. Likely miss the next 2 games. Stinks. That's a buzzkill, because you know what? Offensive line, when the 5 guys were out there, they were damn good. They played a good game. They gave Aaron Rodgers so much time to throw, and he was taking advantage of it in the first half. He was 15 of 20 in the first half, and that was with a few drops mixed in. Looking at the box score, Rodgers finished 28 of 42, which obviously after a 75% completion percentage in the first half, he finished with a 66.7% completion, 256 yards, 6.1 yards per attempt, 1 touchdown, no picks, a 91 rating. Stafford, 14 of 19, 110 yards, 1 touchdown and a pick, 83.2 rating. Kyren Williams was the star of the show, 23 carries, $122, 5.3 yards per attempt, 1 touchdown. I knew Kyren was going to have a big day, especially with no Quinnen Williams. He was a major factor in this one. For the Jets, a frustrating thing on offense to me, look at these numbers. So Davante Adams, 7 catches for 68 yards on 13 targets. Garrett Wilson had 7 targets, 6 catches for 54. Going into the Jets' final drive, it was 12 targets to Davante Adams to 4 Garrett Wilson targets. And then finally, he got the ball pretty much 3 times in a row right before the end. But for most of the game, Davante Adams was 3Xing Garrett Wilson's targets. That's not the way to use those two guys. These should be much closer to split. It still essentially ended up with Davante getting almost double the targets that Garrett Wilson did. Just not a good game. Just not a good game, not a good season. Jets fall to 4-11. They are 2-5 at home. And the poor Jet fans who went froze their ass off and watched that pitiful performance. Let me know your thoughts. I'm Matt O'Leary. I'll catch you next time.